Taliban, August. Evacuation, August. Taliban, August, Taliban.
Forces, evacuation, forces, August, evacuation, forces, evacuation, forces, August.
Evacuation, Taliban, forces, their evacuation, Taliban.
Forces and evacuation. According to a mute teachers, 50 serve embassy and cousins to this forces, August forces, August and evacuation, forces, August.
Forces,
honest,
August forces, August forces, August forces,
Taliban forces,
evacuation, Taliban, August, Taliban forces, August. Taliban.
August evacuation.
Taliban forces.
Taliban
Forces.
Taliban, August, Taliban forces, August, Taliban.
evacuation,
Forces.
Evacuation, August, Taliban forces, evacuation,
Forces,
Taliban
Forces, Taliban, the evacuation.
Taliban.
Forces, evacuation, Taliban.
Taliban forces, Taliban.
forces,
Evacuation.
forces, evacuation,
August, back. Forces,
August, Taliban forces.
Evacuation, forces,
Evacuation.
forces, Taliban,
Forces. August, the Taliban. August,
forces,
Taliban
forces,
Taliban.
forces,
Evacuation. These are the Department of State.
also not complete.
Forces, Taliban, forces, Taliban.
Forces. Evacuation. Taliban.
About this.
evacuation,
Evacuation.
forces,
August.
Forces,
Evacuation, August, Taliban forces, Taliban.
August. Evacuation. August, Taliban. August, Taliban. Forces. August.
evaporation, forces,
Taliban forces. August, Taliban, August, evacuation, Taliban,
Taliban,
Spartan.